This video is brought to you by Squarespace. Okay, everyone say it with me. We are not going to comment. You should switch to Linux.
Linux is so much better.
I don't care about Linux, at least this specific time of my life. So, this is a, hey, you just switched, or maybe you're thinking of switching from macOS to Windows, and I'm gonna help you out. I already have a part 1 of this video, but I'm doing a part 2 because it just seems like there is an overall fear, maybe it's just in my little creative community bubble, of Windows and Windows computers. And also it's a good way to let you know that I'm gonna link a blog post below, yes, a blog post that you can share, and that I will continually update whenever I come up with new tips or tricks or things that I think might help you. So I'll continually update that. I'll also add everything that I said in the last video to that, so you don't have to watch all of the content. So buckle in, we're gonna go through 10 different things. Number 1, files, navigation. Everything is super similar to macOS. Shift Control N is to start a new folder. You click it and you can rename this folder. You can view your files in many different ways. The command key that you're used to basically just turns to control. And also this Windows key pulls up a start menu that you can customize over here, but you can just also search things. So instead of command spacebar to pull up Spotlight, all you have to do is hit the Windows button once and you're already searching. And I think you'd be surprised, the more you use it, I mean, there's things that I actually enjoy more about Windows now than macOS. You put your apps down here on the taskbar, you can hide it, but also Chrome, if you have 2 open, it pops up your 2 different Chrome tabs and you have a preview, and yeah, just little stuff like that. Over time, you're like, oh, I kind of like that. Okay, number 2, this is common with manufacturers like Dell or maybe HP who try to load on some bloatware to make your sound experience, your speaker experience more quality, but really it just ruins it. It's like, okay guys, can we just leave things alone? So, quick tip, make sure this is turned off. So you're going to go to the sound settings, you're going to go to device properties and then additional device properties. What a mess, am I right? Go to advanced and turn enable audio enhancements off. Now this might look different depending on what device you have. You can always just uninstall this like weird sound bloatware that will be on your computer as well. But this is a pretty quick way to make sure you don't have weird reverby sound. It messes with your headphones too when you plug them in. Number 3 is trackpads. Guess what guys? Trackpads on Windows laptops aren't that bad anymore. Of course, I love the MacBook trackpads. I think that's one of the only good things still about MacBooks. But over here on the Windows side, they have made amazing strides. One of my favorites is the one on the XPS 9570. Hopefully that carries over to the 7590. But I think what you'll find with trackpads and Windows, all of the motions are very similar to what you would associate with on macOS. So 3-finger swipe up, you have all the apps pulled up, you can create a new desktop, throw a Chrome tab over there, and then swipe in between your desktops with 3 fingers, just like you normally would. And then you can swipe through the apps that you have pulled up just with 4 fingers and go back and forth, decide what you want, and then it'll pull up what you landed on. Of course, you can customize these touchpad gestures. If you have a Microsoft Precision touchpad, that is definitely something to look for. I think the majority of laptops out there now have that, but like the HP Spectre 360 that I reviewed last year, or the beginning of this year, it didn't have it, and it kind of became a problem. The updated laptop now has it, but it's just something to look for. But I mean, this is very similar to macOS, right? It's not some scary thing that you're not used to. Another helpful one, if you have a lot of apps pulled up, something that I use all the time with my laptop is 3 fingers down is to minimize all your applications, 3 fingers up to bring it back up. Boom, 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 boom. Number 4, let's talk about that problem people have when they put in maybe their razor blade into their backpack and it just starts going on its own. And then maybe you don't use it for 8 hours, you open it up and the battery's dead. Okay, yes, I have to admit that's something that annoyed me in the beginning, but I solved the problem by just changing the power button on my computer to hibernate. So whenever I press that button, I close my laptop, it's not randomly constantly waking up, not wasting your battery, and then when you open it up and press the power button again, you can just pick up where you left off. So you can also automatically make it when you close the lid, it goes into hibernate instead of sleep, but it's always something that I want to be intentional with. So like at the end of the day, I'll hit the power button and then close it, but when I'm opening up my laptop a lot, I still make the lid, just make it go to sleep, because then it wakes up quicker. Now you might say, Sarah, this is just kind of ridiculous. Why do I have to do this? Well, in the previous video that I made of the Dell XPS 13, we've seen that Intel and people like Dell and HP, they actually care about these experiences. So they're doing a thing called instant wake, where when you close your laptop lid, it doesn't automatically kick on and waste power, but you don't have to go through these extra steps to put it into hibernate. So when you open the lid, it instantly turns on and you're in, similar to the experience of a MacBook. Yes, macOS can be actually very smart without you knowing. The fact that it just instantly turns on and it doesn't waste your battery when you're not using it is something that's actually a little foreign to Windows laptops. It's kind of like, why? But we're getting there. Number 5 is something that is just my pet peeve. If you go into settings, I like to turn theme off into the individual sync settings, because if you have more than one Windows device, it for some reason is just so adamant about if you change your background image here, it'll change it on my desktop. And guess what? I might want a different desktop image on my 49-inch ultra-wide display than on my laptop. I think that's more of just one of my annoyances, but a thing you can do. Okay, number 6. This is people's biggest pet peeve, and so I will keep sharing this. I mean, I've said this a lot, but just in case one person out there doesn't know about this app, it's called Quicklook. It's for you content creators out there who are so used to previewing footage by pressing the spacebar on macOS. So this is something you can do automatically on macOS, but you just have to download a free app from the Microsoft Store to make previewing images and videos as easy as on macOS. Boom, you're welcome. Amazing. Okay, listen, we still got 4 to go. Are you with me? Are you still here? The last ones are some juicy ones, but before that, thank you so much, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Websites, online tools, analytics, email marketing campaigns, domains, all the things, all in one platform, squarespace.com. I use my website as more of a portfolio of work, but also as a utility. Recently, I used my website to help me hire an editor, and then also it comes in handy with email campaigns. They have really clean, easy to use templates. So whether you're setting up a website for your restaurant, it's your design portfolio, maybe you are a hair salon and you need some integration with taking appointments, Squarespace is there for you. The templates are beautiful and easy to use, and maybe it's time for your side hustle to become your main hustle. Maybe a website will help you do that. If you want to start a free trial, you can go to squarespace.com, and then if you want 10% off when you finally decide to get that domain, start that website, you can go to squarespace.com/saradietschy for that 10% off down in the description below. Okay, back to these points. Are we on number 7? Number 7, taking screenshots. Everyone knows how to take screenshots on macOS, but on Windows, it's actually pretty easy. And with a recent update to the Snip and Snap app, or whatever the heck it's called, it's becoming even easier. So if you shift Windows key S, it pulls up the screenshot. You can take the screenshot, automatically saves it to your clipboard, and then that copies it, and you can just Control V, paste it to your Twitter timeline and say, wow, look at this. And that way you don't clutter your desktop with random screenshots that you just want to tweet a picture from. Say you want to do the entire screen, shift Windows S. We now have this new tool up here where you can do a freeform a freeform snip, window snip, where it just takes a screenshot of a specific window, or the full screen, copies it to your clipboard. However, you can actually go to Action Center if you want to save it and annotate it, do whatever you want. Or you can use this shortcut and toggle in between the different pictures, screenshots in your clipboard and decide what you want to paste to the internet or whatever you want to do with it. It's also its own app, Snip and Sketch. snip and sketch, snip and sketch, snip. It's a terrible name. But you can also do everything from here if you can't remember the shortcuts. Let's talk about number 8, and this is a big one. You guys said on Twitter that Airdrop, Sarah. Airdrop is huge to communicate in between my iPhone and my iMac or MacBook, just a macOS device. And I totally understand Airdrop is amazing. I mean, that's why I still carry an iPhone when I'm out with friends or someone needs to share pictures we've been taking. Then you whip out your iPhone, boom, the pictures are magically on your phone. And it's such a great, seamless experience. However, think about all the times that you're airdropping from a computer to a phone or vice versa. It's usually just you. There's not this pressure of, oh, okay, all of our friends are hanging out. We need to get the pictures quick before I hop into a car. But when it comes to transferring footage or pictures to your computer, there are so many options. One way you can do it, the way I do it on my Main Gear desktop PC, is I downloaded the Google Drive personal client that's called Backup and Sync. That means there's one folder on the desktop of my computer titled Main Gear, and that computer does a two-way sync with my Google Drive. Whenever I have some screenshots or anything from my phone to share, or I want to share something from my computer to my phone, I drop it into that folder and I can access it instantly on my desktop or my phone. However, what if the internet just sucks where you are? Recently, I was in Vegas and I was in this position and I had actual video clips to share that were 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and a 10-minute clip. Even though Google Drive is great, that adds a lot of time. So I actually have a hardware solution to this. Because I usually travel with my XPS, so I don't have like a MacBook to airdrop it to and then like put it on a hard drive. This is something that I did a brand deal for literally 3 years ago. It was one of my first times working with a brand. It's just this SanDisk accessory, and I kept it on my keychain for the past few years, and it comes in handy so much because on one side it's a lightning connector and on the other it's a USB. All I do to get the footage when I have a lot of footage off of my phone is I just plug it in like this. I go into their app, I decide what I want to transfer, and then plug in this side via the USB-A port that I have on my laptop, which is just fantastic. And look, here we go. Here's all of the files that I just transferred over. I can preview them, boom. Easy. Number 9, which is right behind AirDrop, is losing iMessage. Sarah, I answer iMessages so much on my computer, it would just be a travesty. Honestly, I've been, majority Windows for a while, for over a year, maybe not 2 years, but over a year. And guess what? I have not missed answering messages at all on my computer. I find that I am actually more productive, that I don't get pinged with all those notifications. I like keeping it to this. But I will say, there's actually some practical steps you can take to make this easier. There's actually multi-device keyboards, and Logitech actually has a lot of them. There's the K480, the 380, and the 780, and a lot of these are cool because you can actually put your device in the keyboard and you can switch in between your iPhone and your computer. So if you have to have that seamless experience, you can just dock up your phone in one of these cool keyboards and you can just type on your computer. Oh, you got a text message, type on your phone, and it's not as seamless, of course, but it's definitely a solution. And the final thing I think you should know if you're thinking about switching to Windows, number 10 is, okay, Sarah, I'm scared. Reliability with devices. Am I gonna get viruses? All of these things. To be honest, Windows Defender, which is like the built-in antivirus software, the firewall, it actually does a pretty good job. I haven't dealt with any viruses on my desktop, on literally the 5 different laptops that I use. I will say when I travel or I'm in sketchy hotels or just out of the country, I do use a VPN just because I'm kind of wired to not trust public networks. But besides that, you don't have to worry about what people worried about 5 years. The selection of hardware has gotten so much better. If you watch any of my laptop reviews, it is just insane the amount of options that you have now, and it's hardware that's reliable. I mean, a lot of these people who are asking me these questions are ones that have had keyboard issues with their MacBook or display issues with their MacBook. I would say when it comes to laptops, I would say maybe Windows and Apple are now just on a level playing field where MacBooks just aren't reliable as they used to, and the Windows laptops have really improved so much. Out of all the laptops I've reviewed, I had one problem with the Razer Blade 15 that I I had to send back because it wasn't using the dedicated graphics for literally anything, and they had to replace the motherboard, but they replaced it for free because it was obviously their fault, but it was gone for 2 weeks. Now, if you go to the Apple Genius Bar or whatever they're calling it now, maybe they'll be a little bit quicker, get your device back to you in like a week or 5 days, and you know that, hey, there's a retail location I can go to. But if you watch any Louis Rossmann, I mean, they're kind of notorious for overcharging, for yes, always being there, but not giving you maybe the best service anymore. So technology, it sometimes isn't perfect. You have to do your due diligence of the reviews, seeing what laptops will be perfect for you. But when it comes to desktop setups, and now I'm just kind of ranting, you can build yourself a PC tower and it'll last you for 5-10 years, and you can upgrade it if you want, but you're not gonna have as many issues as I think you are going to have. I don't know, man. I am a big fan of desktop computers all of a sudden, whether it's an iMac or a PC tower from Origin or Maingear, or even like a PC tower from a Dell or something. You get so much power for not that much money. That's like an entirely different video, but you know, points. I'm trying to make some points, maybe trying to make Windows a little less scary. Thank you, Squarespace, for sponsoring this video. Let me know if you like this video and hit that subscribe button down below for new videos every single week. And guess what? Because it's Christmas time, it's the giving season. If you want to subscribe to my email newsletter, I don't know how often I'm going to send them out, probably only 2 or 3 a year. It's more of me just being like, hey, I want some form of direct contact with you guys if YouTube decides to delete my YouTube channel. It's more of that kind of vibe, but I'm giving out 5 pieces of that Creative Life merch to the people who sign up for my email newsletter. So it's on my Squarespace site, saradietschy.com/newsletter. Sign up, and I'm already sending out the first batch. Free merch for everyone. So exciting. Okay, so I think I've talked enough. Yeah, I wonder if maybe I should do the reverse of this video now that I've done 2 of these. What you need to know for switching to macOS? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. And until next time, guys, stay peachy. Okay, bye.